Power up sequence. When preparing the cab, the AWS isolation switch must be in its normal position and sealed. In this picture it's shown unsealed. When opening the desk, all indicators illuminate. The sunflower changes to black and the AWS horn sounds. Acknowledge the AWS. The AWS bell will sound. The sunflower changes to black and yellow, all the indicators extinguish, and a verbal announcement is made saying Tpws and AWS operational.
Tpws and AWS operational.
AWS failed to cancel. If you fail to cancel the AWS indicator light will flash. Once the AWS acknowledgement button is pressed, the sunflower will change to yellow and black. The AWS horn stops sounding and the AWS indicator light lights solid. The driver should contact the signaller for permission to proceed. Once permission is given and 60 seconds has passed, release the brakes by pressing the AWS button and the brake release button simultaneously. Okay. Yeah. Overspeed trip. If you experience a TPWS overspeed trip, the overspeed indicator will flash and a verbal warning will sound saying overspeed, contact the signaller. Press the overspeed indicator. It will change to a steady light. Contact the signaller for permission to proceed, unless approaching buffer stops when the signaller can be contacted later. After 60 seconds has passed, press the overspeed indicator and brake release push button simultaneously to release the brakes.
Overspeed. Contact the signaller. Overspeed. Contact the signaller.
Cool. There goes the brake, yeah.
Brake record.
SPAD or train stop trip. If you trip by a train stop loop, the SPAD indicator will flash and a verbal warning will sound saying SPAD alert, contact the signaller. Press the SPAD indicator. It will change to a steady light. Contact the signaller. After 60 seconds has passed, press the SPAD indicator and brake release push button simultaneously to release the brakes.
SPAD alert. Contact the signaller. SPAD alert. Contact the signaller.
Yeah, you can try it, and even if it shows that it won't work.
I'll prove it.
Yeah.
When it's flat.
Oh, okay, try it again then.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, yeah.
In the event of multiple TPWS AWS interventions, only the most serious indicator will continue to flash, usually the SPAD indicator. Consequently, you would only need to press one indicator to acknowledge the intervention, and to release the brakes you would only need to press the brake release button and one indicator. Here's a couple of scenarios. In the first scenario, we've simulated an AWS fail to cancel followed by a SPAD. Note how the AWS flashing light goes out once the SPAD occurs.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, now train stop.
Train stop now. Yeah, it takes it away.
SPAD alert. Contact the signaller.
Yeah.
In the next clip, we'll look at the indications received for an AWS fail to cancel, followed by an overspeed, followed by a SPAD. In this case, the driver's having a really bad day. Here we see the driver's late cancelling the AWS, causing a brake application. The AWS light flashes. The driver acknowledges the AWS. The AWS light now goes steady. Because he's travelling too fast, he then gets tripped on an overspeed loop. The AWS light goes out and the overspeed starts to flash. The driver acknowledges this by pressing the overspeed light, which then goes steady. The driver then has a SPAD. The SPAD indicator flashes. He presses the SPAD light to acknowledge the incident. The driver should then contact the signaller. Once he's acknowledged the SPAD by pressing the SPAD light, he won't be able to release the brakes for 60 seconds, which he does by pressing the brake release and the SPAD button simultaneously. One of the big advantages of TPWS2 is that you can't clear the brake application by keying out and back in again. If you do this following an intervention, TPWS panel will continue to show the indication that was present when the desk was shut down. This is simulated in the next clip. Right, if you panic now,
SPAD
shut
alert.
the desk down.
Contact the signaller. SPAD alert.
Okay, now open the desk up.
TPWS and AWS operational.
But you've still got your SPAD light lit. So it's still on your data recorder.
Yeah.
Actually shut your cab now, haven't you? You commissioned it again
Yeah.
with your data recorder.
That's not looking good.
Now we have to wait our 60 seconds again.
Was in the year of '89 on that old Chicago line.